Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing a grade mega collection with Keith, DV-Lot, and Maruska. So, game designer. Each harvest you may convert one complete set of building resources into 6 food and a bonus point. That looks like fun. How good is that? Probably for this to be good, I'm looking for. You know what? No, this is just good. This is like your whole feeding on your own. Like 6 food is significant. 6 food is really significant. That's enough that, just as long as you're not really spamming occupations in stage one, you don't really need to do anything else. And wheeling excavator would be great. Um, Prudent merchant could be good. Yeah, excavator, prudent merchant, handyman. Not wealthiest hero. Gray nerfed market woman. This is a nerfed market woman. So that it doesn't activate on every minor improvement thing. So we've got constable, homesteader, pasture you have covering at least 3 farmyard spaces. So this is kind of like cloister. It's very similar to cloister. You want to lay out your farm very similarly. Commercial baker is good. Barnmaster I like. Trinket collector I like. What do I want to take here? This hand is quite good. Or this pile is quite good. Homesteader is probably decent in a constable game. Right? Yeah, Homesteader is probably decent in a constable game. And renovating is going to be kind of difficult for me given game designer. Do I need to take Homesteader here, though? Am I going to wheel it out of this pile? I might wheel it out of this pile. Barnmaster is worse with Constable in the game because Barnmaster, you really want to have small fields. I'm going to take Fellow Grazer here. Fellow Grazer encourages me to fence big, which in a Constable game is something that's I'm okay with doing. I'll try to wheel Homesteader here, I think. Just try to do the super bonus point thing. Well, there's Appleman. So Appleman plus Market Woman is grain field every round once the vegetable space is out. Pest exterm. Oh, this is this one, this card. The problem with this card, I don't know if I really want to use the little reno space, and I don't know if I'm okay with fencing twice. I think Pest Exterminator seems okay, but it seems bad in a constable game. We'll take Businesswoman here. I don't know if Businesswoman is good with Game Designer. Yeah, it might not actually be very good with Game Designer either. But I like Businesswoman. Well, there's Hoarder, very similar effect to Game Designer. Librarian seems okay. Right? It gives me a read for Game Designer. I don't think I want to take Late Bloomer here. Seems like if the only Ock I'm playing in Stage 1 is Game Designer, I should be pushing for an early build. I think I'm taking Hoarder here. And I haven't really seen like a clay worker yet or anything like that that makes my resource grabs better. That's what I would really like here. Take Prudent Merchant. Yeah. Get the resources back from a major improvement so that it doesn't mess up my game designer too much. Or my hoarder. Constable still and Commercial Baker still here. Constable, yeah, this pack was very good. Let's go. Oh, should I go for Homesteader here? I'm gonna take Homesteader here. Maybe Keith plays Constable, but getting a seventh pick Commercial Baker is. I think Keith might have taken Market Woman. Might have taken Market Woman. We'll see. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. Felt pretty crappy kind of Thursday evening to Friday evening, and then I just didn't sleep well last night. So that's mostly why I feel bad now, is because I didn't sleep well. Uh, can I make this Pest Exterminator work? I think it's a good card. I think it's a good card. So Plowrope not so good with Homesteader here. Grange, 6 field tiles and all animal types for 3 points. Actually seems kind of perfect. I do 3 rooms, 6 fields, 3 with Homesteader, fence 13. That's a lot of points on my farm. That represents a ton of points. Bed in the grain field. Start the next harvest, you get a family growth action if you have room for the newborn. Bird trap. Field phase of each harvest, 1 food from general supply. Harvest an additional good from one of your fields. Yeah, I'm taking Grange here. And this is just small house. This would be a pretty good cow mom game, actually. With how many points I have here. I guess the problem with cow mom is the taking of building resources with game designer would be awkward. But this is just really let game designer handle my feeding so that all my actions can go into maximizing my point cards. Yeah, if I can fence 13 with Pest Exterminator, then it would be a 7-point card. And this would be a 4-point card, Fellow Grazer. Yep. So try to be in a position where I can get regular fence and Reno in the last round. Reno Grange probably, and then regular fence after. Try for that to be the situation that I'm in. Farmyard space on the northern border becomes easy to get a clay and a food. It's not actually terrible in this game because random clay will actually be appreciated. Northern soup does not seem that good. Rats. Each time you harvest grain, place one of those grain on this card. At 3 grain, return 2 to your supply and remove the other. And you get 2 bonus points and 4 food. Harvest grain, one of them on this card. There are 3 grain, return 2 to your supply and remove the other. Get 2 bonus points and 4 food. So you put the grain on layaway. You put your grain on layaway, and then if you do, you put one of them in for 2 bonus points and 4 food. This seems really good. This seems like a really good reason to just... You can just fence... Like, you can just... Oh, it says each time you harvest grain, so it's not per grain field. Okay, I was going to say you can't just sow 3 grain fields in 13. All right. Studio. Use the studio to convert wood, clay, or stone into food. Sugar cane. Soak grain on this card as if it were a field. Harvest. You must exchange them for 2 food each. Ruins get ruins. Obviously, the stone can be used for something like game designer. Yeah, maybe I wheel snowshoes. Or does ruins come back? Maybe. You know what? And I have prudent merchant as well. Yeah, ruins seems good here. Like I can play prudent merchant first, then play businesswoman, use ruins, get this forced stone back, and then play something else as well. That could be neat. Well, I know I need a Reedstone food action in stage 1, so Scorched Earth seems good here. It's just kind of a funny... This is just all the points. All the points are coming from my cards here. That and fields. I'm going to have good field score, and otherwise I'm just going to have points from cards. Okay, I guess it's a constable game, so boar breeding is fine. I don't think there's any reason to take random materials. I don't think I want dual field. I guess cattle drive. You know what? Cattle drive is very similar. Yeah, this is actually a pretty late cattle drive, actually. Yeah, it's a lot better than boar breeding, except that you can play boar breeding in 14, whereas cattle drive has to be on the table. Um, don't want sausage grinder. None of the rest of these have points on them, except for encircling wall, which I do not want. Functions very similarly to ruins here. I'm not going to do the grain field thing. Fish farm, I guess. You know what? Maybe. I guess. Maybe. Maybe I play fish farm. I don't know. I don't see myself playing any of those cards. I don't think the bird card is what I want here. I think that card seems okay if you're going to get crops down before round 13. Or before the round 13 harvest, or before the round 11 harvest, I should say. But I'm probably not getting crops in the ground until round 12 or 13, most likely. Because it's just going to be better for me to put effort into my keeping my game designer and maxing my hoarder. This Pest Exterminator, the other thing I'd like it with is a most recent round card combo. Like something like Doug or, yeah. Or the plow one. Yeah, I'll play snowshoes here. Random clay could be fine. The problem with snowshoes is if I don't fence until 14, then I'm getting 3 clay, and the odds that I can use 3 clay are pretty low. But I mean, I can probably use 2 clay. I'll have hoarder. I'll have hoarder for clay, and then I'll have 1 for game designer, and I just have 1 extra maybe. So yeah, the plan is get the first growth, feed super easily with game designer, and then turn that into okay, how many bonus points can I potentially get? So game designer is 6, hoarder is 5, fellow grazer is 4, so that's 15. Pest exterminator I pegged at potentially 7, so that'd be 22. Grange is 25, ruins 28, scorched earth 32. Like that, 32 potential bonus points is ridiculous. Koan at most 2 occupations. What would I want to play in 14? Let's assume that I play this in round 4 or round 5. What would I want to play in 14? Fellow Grazer? Yes. What would I want to play in round. If I play this in 5, round 10? Homesteader? Okay. Yeah. The read cost is a bit awkward, and I wouldn't mind taking Dinghy there, but I know I want the Reedstone food space already. I want 3 wood, I want Reedstone food, and I want 4 clay. And the more times I can get Reedstone food, the better. So it is a bit awkward. Like to get the first room, I'm gonna need a 2 read action and Reedstone food, or 3 Reedstone food actions. Much more likely that I get Reedstone food and 2 read. It is possible though. And yeah, maybe I play Koan in round 5. We will see. We'll see. Yeah. Also, not having a guarantee of a way to get family growth and the round 12 and 13 actions is a bit awkward for the pest exterminator, but I'm gonna try to make it work. Have one left over be round 14 and the other one be so bake or one of the round 12 or 13 cards. Yeah, he took excavator. It did not go very far. Maybe unsurprisingly. Not sure how good that card is exactly. People like it. I mean, it's I guess it's your best action. It's one of the best actions in stage 1, right? It gives you access to stone, which you wouldn't have otherwise. Yeah. All right. I'll start player Scorched Earth here. Since there are no good resource actions. Hmm. Heath did not take the right resources from his excavator. He took reedstone food clay. Should be woodstone food clay. So I want 3 wood or cheap oak. Ruska probably plays an oak here. I could take 2 wood. I'm hoping for better than 2 wood. I'll just play the game designer here. Baby Lot builds the fireplace with Village Druid. Unsurprisingly, Miska's got cut pastures here, cut willows. Uh, 4 wood here. Yep. And I'd like to wheel the 4 clay. And if I don't wheel the 4 clay, I'll take 3 clay. I'm not worried about the clay getting taken though, because the first fireplace is already gone and Keith's getting clay from his excavator. So Winter Keeper. This is the one that lets you feed early. Yeah. Yeah. You feed early and then you get some bonus points for doing so. So I'm gonna want to play Pest Exterminator relatively soon. Otherwise, the other cards can kind of wait. Like Prudent Merchant probably comes down before Businesswoman, because Prudent Merchant I think is most likely going to give me the stone back from Ruins. The DV lot's going to play an Auk here. What is it? Mriska's unlikely to first move 2 reads, so I should get the 2 read here. Mriska most likely will 3 wood. Maybe Reedstone Food. If Mariska Reedstone Foods, then Keith. You know what? Yeah, he doesn't need 3 wood necessarily because he's ready to build. So maybe Reedstone Foods, and then I 2 read, and then Keith. That's 6. Okay, it's unexpected. But I guess DV Lot's in a position where he's likely growing last, so then this round is 4 food, 2 sheep for him. Yeah, those are probably like the best moves for DV Lot. Yeah, or 4 food and an occupation. Oh, it took the 2 read. Okay. I'm surprised by that. I'll second move start player Koan maybe then to get Reedstone Food again in round 5. and be ready to build with my second move. Is Keith trying to get that 4-stone fence miner out? Maybe. Yeah, he might be. Yeah, so the reason you don't take 2 sheep here as DV lot is because taking 2 sheep is as good as taking 3 sheep next round. And you're guessing that the sheep is going to be uncontested. I guess it's possible Keith builds a hearth here, but Mariska is going to build. I said I was going to play Koan. I lied. I'm going to play... Oh, maybe I do play Koan, actually. Because Mariska built first. The only time I regret playing Koan is if it's round 5 family growth. If it's anything else, I'm pretty happy with this decision. Plus, this can play Hoarder now. Yeah, this lets me play Hoarder with it. I mean, if there's 6 wood there, I'll probably take 6 wood over Reedstone Food. Because really, I need 2 reed. Really, I need both, though. I need Reedstone Food and I need 2 reed. Reno flipped. All right, I'll take the 6 wood. Keith will probably 4 wood into build. Mariska is in a good spot here, not having to start player after building. So Mariska might Reedstone Food. Oh, Keith took 5 clay. All right, Keith's going to build a clay room, I guess. He's going to do Reno something. Reno cooking hearth, maybe. But if you're going to do cooking hearth, then you're not building the clay room. Yeah. Keith may be thinking about the fact that he's trying to feed in 6, so the room is less important because of that. So if Mariska blocks Reedstone Food, I'll just play Pest Exterminator here. That's fine. And I'm just really hoping DV Lot does not start player. I could put it in top middle. I guess bottom right corner is annoying for people putting stuff out. So far, my action quality has been quite high. My action quality has been really high. Scorched Earth is a 4-point action. Koan is a 2 occupation action. The 2 ocs that I've played have been, you know, with my second move each time. So like I haven't had to use high actions to get them out. I've gotten 4 clay. I've gotten reedstone food. Action the my resources per action or my points per action is quite high, so that's good. I am a little dependent on getting the right actions going forward. Ruska's got Church Warden here. That is not likely to be a card that I benefit from. And it's a late family growth game. All right, I'm really happy to see a late family growth game. Seems very unlikely to me that it seems likely to me that my potential 25 points from cards should be able to do quite well in a late family growth game. The only problem is the game designer does require a certain amount of actions, but very likely I just grow second here, right? Because Maruska's going to start player. Oh, Keith. What's Keith got? Clay hut extension or something? Gotta be clay hut extension. What's funny is that Maruska does not need to start player here. Because if I build, Maruska can take 3 wood, which forces my build, and Maruska would then be able to start player with his second move. Does not have to start player first move here. The only time he has to start player is if I get on build a room. Oh, and he blocks build. Okay. Alright, I missed that I forgot that he could do that. Nice. Now that works out well for him. I take reedstone food. So then my 2 actions are likely to be start player into build. Because I bet Keith is going to reno here. So Keith renovating means that nobody could benefit from building. Nope, Keith is day laboring again. What's Keith up to? What is Keith up to? I had a nice zoo director game earlier with Studmaster, Pasteurization Expert, Paleontologist, Heavy Cart Lampo. Oh, fun. Hmm. So Keith not renovating means I actually have to build first action. And DV Lot just did start player read exchange. So that means if DV Lot can first move build. So that's not so good. That's not so good for me. Yeah. So seems like I'm probably gonna take 2 stone. And what's my other move? Maybe 4 wood. Could be a 4 wood 2 stone round. Or maybe this is time to get Prudent Merchant out. Maybe this is a 2 stone Prudent Merchant round. Both of them seem... Well, I guess DV Lot's not hungry at all. What am I saying? DV Lot's not hungry. But Mariska does want to pick up a read here. Like Maruska having to wheel Reedstone food seems brutal. Oh, he just played Reed Exchange, of course. Of course. So turned a wood into 2 Reed. Very nice. Yeah, that works. Um, Reedstone food again? Or do I take 4 wood here? Or I can play Prudent Merchant. Probably I'm supposed to take 4 wood when I can. I think Homesteader will be pretty good this game. Just because of late family growth. I think Homesteader will be pretty good. I think I'm hope. I think I kind of have to hope that now Keith Reynolds. I think I kind of have to hope that Keith did not draft Constable. I mean, I can monitor Keith to see if he's likely to play Constable, right? He might not be all that likely to play Constable. Am I going to get 6 wood next round? Because Maruska does start player to grow in 9. DV grow Maruska start player, I get 6 wood. Or 5 wood. If Maruska takes 6 wood, I get 5 wood. Depending on what Keith does with his last action. Yeah, with this rancher, there's just a ton of building resources in the game, which seems like it should be good for me, but it's also likely to be very good for Maruska, who will have a pretty significant action advantage. And it'll help him probably build his 5th room. Mm, 5 wood or build? I think I'm taking 5 wood. I think I'm taking 5 wood here. Because I don't. I mean, Maruska wants to take a bottom feeding action, I think. And I mean, he doesn't mind taking Reed again, but I think if he could avoid taking Reed again, he would like to. So it is definitely possible he builds here. So if Maruska builds, I play Prudent Merchant, I think. And then my round 9 is probably getting Ruins out, taking Reedstone Food, and then playing other thing. Organized Handyman here for DV Law. Good card, especially in a late family growth game. I think it's quite good. I mean, the well is also available. Could build the well instead of ruins. The nice thing about the ruins though is that getting the 4 stone back actually like matters quite a bit in this game. Getting the stone back really matters with game designer. I think the way that I get the rest of my stone comes here. So I think this 2 read is actually pretty good. I think this 2 read action is actually a pretty good action. But I do have the read exchange, I suppose, that I can play next round. Yeah, so maybe build here. Yeah. Yeah, playing read exchange here seems fine. The wood's been accumulating. So I let TV Lot announce the miner first. Then I announce my occupation. Yeah, Maruska growing in 7 and 9 is phenomenal, especially given how many extra resources have been put into this game. Really phenomenal. And the read exchange was really good for DV Lot. I was not ready for DV Lot to jump into the build. I was not ready for that at all. So I got punished for that quite hard. Ideally, Keith lets me sit and does not force start player. Ideally. And I think if I take the resources to build, well, if I take the resources to build, I'm forcing Keith to build. So, yeah, maybe that was not a good move. I want to tell Keith I don't want to build. I do not want to build. I think I'm gonna play Prudent Merchant here because I really don't want to start player. I really just want to play Ruins and maybe Snowshoes or Ruins and a Major or something. Ruins in the Well with Businesswoman next round. And then I want to play Homesteader in 11. I don't really have time for start player actions. I think I'm okay with falling in growth. And if I grow in 11, I play Cattle Drive in 11 and still get both cattle. Or, sorry. That's not true, actually. If I want to get both cattle out of Cattle Drive, it has to come in 10. Hmm. I definitely need actions, or else I just can't fence. Why not? Oh! Whoops. Whoops. I have plans to play 7 Ox. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that really sucks. And Cattle Drive can't come out until 13 now. I did not read the second half of Koan at all. Oh well, that's unfortunately my game completely down the toilet. That's a shame. Oh man, I did not. I did not read the second half of the koan at all. You know what I think I thought this line was? You must still play additional costs of occupations because sometimes that, whenever you play an oc for free, sometimes the text of you must still pay additional costs. Oh man, so now I can't play Homesteader. Oh man, this game is over. That's a shame. So now I can't play Grange. So yeah, I can play Fellow Grazer in 13, but I can't play Homesteader. I can't play Grange. Oh man. I guess the game was already over though, because of Maruska growing in 7 and 9 in a late family growth game with Churchwarden. So maybe what this game in this game, maybe game designer stage 1 is not good. I don't know. The 6 food in state like getting 6 food in round 4 is huge. Getting 6 food in round 4 is what enables you to play Ox in stage 2 and 3 because the 6 food is giving you extra food there so that then you can make up the difference in the latter half of the game if this is my only way to feed. Damn, Koan. Honestly, I think the card would be fine if you were allowed to play other Ox. Like playing Ox 5 and 9 in the future and having to family growth is a huge, or the read, paying a read that early is like to get Ox that far in the future is a huge downside. I think the card would be fine if you could still play other cards. It would be good for sure, but I think it'd be fine. Um, can't play Cattle Drive now. I guess I play Snowshoes. Yeah, I guess. That's a shame. That is really a shame. Second action here. One sheep. Yeah. I want to take 2 stone and ruins next round. Yeah, so this is where the Barnmaster is not good in a constable game. But maybe Keith is not going to play constable. Yeah, I don't know. With like him going leading into excavator so much makes me think he's not going to actually play constable. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. Too bad. Definitely wanted to play. In spite of the late family growth, I still wanted to play 7 ox because all my ox are quite good. Now, it's possible that what was gonna get bring me down here is the pest exterminator. But since constable could come out, I think pest exterminator is still okay. The problem with the pest exterminator is that if constable's not coming out, then like it would have been better for me to build some improvements probably compared to fence multiple times. Oh well. That's a shame. That is a shame. Yeah, Koan sucks. Paying a read in round 4 was so bad for me. It was absolutely not worth 2 occupation actions. Because it meant that I couldn't build for so long, and man, Koan actually killed me here. Koan actually killed me. So 3 moves here. I could partially fence here, but if I'm going to partially fence, I probably want to fence 8, right? Because I want an 8 size pasture. So I could partially fence as my third action. I could 2 stone ruins, fence 8. Yeah, I could do that. Hmm, that's too bad. No start players yet. That's surprising, given given people should be lining up for family growth without room. Man, does Mruska have like Noble or something? That'd be pretty annoying if he also has Noble. Looks like he might. Keith is playing Encircling Wall. Yeah, I knew it. I do not think Encircling Wall is a good enough reason to have excavated like a million times. I think the well is probably better than Encircling Wall here, but hey, that's okay. Also, the placement indicates he's likely to only fence 14, which means he's probably playing Constable, which means not getting the 3 fields out of Homesteader is really brutal. Because without Homesteader, I think it's tough for me to fill that 3rd field. It's caught Mason. Yeah. Yeah, game's been Maruska's ever since pretty much I played Koan actually. I think that was probably a game losing mistake. Not game losing, but like the game just was really over at that point, unfortunately. Because it was such a bad move. Alright, well try for the constable points. Try to be relevant with the constable points. Yeah. Although fencing like this, I don't know, covering 6 spaces, maybe Keith let Constable fall out of the draft. I guess we'll know if he plays Bargaining Breeder or Bargaining Baker or whatever it was. Keith fenced. Oh, Keith, you're not supposed to fence. That's the move I wanted to take. Am I taking 3 wood here then? Yeah, I don't really want any of these moves then. I guess I take 3 wood. Oh, Artist Garden plus rats, yeah. Nice. Guess I take 3 wood then. Sure. Yeah. With snowshoes, I never want to take clay. So take 3 wood. I get this stone, and I'll put a wood on the hoarder. And feed 6. So, I want a Reedstone food action because the Reedstone food lets me, it gets me my stuff. Like, okay, so I have enough stone for game designer, but I need an extra stone for hoarder. So I need to get 1 stone somehow. I need 2 more reed and 1 reed for my reno, so I need 3 more reed. So I think what I'm hearing is I want to reed exchange 2 clay to 1. I want to reed exchange 2 clay to 2 reed, and then I want to take reedstone food once. And that's the rest of my resources. That plus getting the 5 clay off of snowshoes. So that's enough clay to hoard 1 clay and spend 2 clay for game designer. Oh wow, Plowso here is great for DV lot with Artist Garden and with Manure Shoveler. Holy crap! Yeah, DV lot's got a nice game. The Manure Shoveler is good. The problem is, I think it's like there's no way that he gets the constable points just because there's no way he fills his farm. So, but I guess what you do is you take advantage of the cards that the other players said these are not good because of constable, and you get them anyways. Yeah, maybe that's what's happening here. 4 wood is quite good because that's fence 15 plus 2 more prize thing because I'm not playing cattle drive anymore. And then I'm going to fence 8 along the top and get 3 clay. Fence 8 along the top, get 3 clay, 3 food. And then that leaves reed exchange as an option. Yeah, rats plus artist garden is a nuts combo. That is a really, really strong combo. Yeah, my third action here is pretty bad because both the animals are occupied. So, yeah, after fencing 8, I really, really, if I don't get start player third move, my last action is really bad. Because my last action pretty much has to be something that gets me a pest exterminator thing. I guess it could be 1 grain. I do need a 1 grain action at some point. Maybe I get last action, start player, read exchange. I mean, the others are not taking it. I guess the other thing to think about here would be if I am gonna reno, I need clay to reno with. So can I save myself the clay action by just taking 3 reed? I haven't hoarded clay yet, so yeah, I need 3 more clay total. So I think it's better to play the reed exchange and take clay. All right, I'll start player for family growth here. Yeah, Mariska got a 6-pick Market Woman. This game. Oh man, Koan turns out Koan is bad when you want to play all 7 Ox. That's frustrating. That's super frustrating because it really wrecked. It totally wrecked my ability to build a room. It was just so bad, so unbelievably bad for me. Oh man, that really sucks. The second move, plow, get a food clay, or should it be taking one of these animals? I think I have to give up on renovating. So I think I'm just trying to fence 5. If I can just fence 5, that'll be good enough. So the 2 spaces left untaken are the this reno space and maybe the other. So try to plow so. Plow being gone is a pain. Because now, what am I hoarding? Yeah, there's nothing for me to hoard anymore. It might have been better to play Homesteader instead of Fellow Grazer even, just for the 2 fields. That probably was the better play, now that I think about it. I should not be thinking this much. This game is long over. I should just make a move and continue. Um, Set up for Ren offense, I guess. We'll take the 3 clay here, and then I can hoard a clay and just give up on fields altogether. Or yeah, no, I should still try to get fields, but the 3 clay's not even enough. Oh man, this game is just such a disaster. Oh man, Homesteader was so important for what I'm trying to do here. Not being able to play it and Hoarder. Like, okay, I can give up on the businesswoman prudent merchant thing because of late family growth, but I can't give up on the fellow grazer 6 points and the homesteader 3 fields. Like those 2 are non-negotiable. I absolutely needed to get something out of those. Oh, too bad. Too bad. It was a neat game idea, but that Koan play ended up being really bad. Really, really, really bad. Hoard clay here, I guess. Yeah. And I need to pay an extra food. And key start playered. With House Goat, because why wouldn't you have played that in stage one? Oh man. Too bad. Too bad for me. I have 4 actions next round. The problem now is that boar has to come after fencing. So, and so does nothing for me. So I'm trying to reno fence, right? I think I'm trying to reno fence. I can fence 2 right now. What are my first couple moves that makes reno fence reasonable? Clay, so I could do clay, reno, stone, reno fence. No, I can't do that. Oh man, too bad. Yeah, fencing 8 was not good enough with pest exterminator. What I forgot about was that I needed to um, I was going to need to get my third animal type before my second fencing. So yeah, so this farm layout does not work with the pest exterminator. I think I think there's still something here if I play like if I can play the homesteader. I think there's still something to this game if I can play homesteader, but without the homesteader, there's just really nothing. There's just absolutely nothing here. So that's too bad. That is too bad. I like this pest exterminator card, but I think this is the second time I've played it, and so obviously the limitations. It wasn't necessarily obvious to me the limitations here with Constable in the game about how I couldn't take the boar until after, like I couldn't take and hold the boar. Um, yeah, so that's something to know. That what you really need is to be in a position to fence 14, and then you take your one boar after. But that means you have to get every single space, including family growth without room and plow sow, which is not guaranteed by any means. Not without something like Noble. So yeah, if I had a card like Noble or something to get me on those actions, then I'd be more interested in that case. Hmm. Well, every wood I take at this point is worth just a full point on its own. So I could take the boar and let it run. Um, I mean, I'm certainly going to reno fence. Am I? Is reno fence better than 4 stables here? Reno fence is probably not better than 4 stables. Yeah, reno fence is probably not better than 4 stables. Oh, not 4 stables. Let's do 3 only, and keep 2 wood. Yeah, so I'm gonna reno, so I have to take reedstone food. So boar, reedstone food, reno, or reno fence. Doesn't matter which. They're the same. Neither is worth has any extra bonus to me. But yeah, yeah, like you see, like the snowshoes is really bad unless I get those two fields, and the way that I get those two fields is from. Um, is anyone gonna read Stone Food here? Where's the BMW? Maruska? I guess the stone oven is available, so maybe there's a tiny incentive for him to take it. Whereas the boar, hopefully the boar is not interesting. So yeah, so if I had played Homesteader instead of the other card, um, I could have gotten the extra clay that way, and then getting the extra clay, I could still do the stables thing, but two fields is obviously better. It's more points than three, right? Two fields is 4 points compared to three. So yeah, that would have been better. Assuming that I could still do the start of the round effect with Homesteader, which I think I could have. But nobody was beating Maruska this game. When I yeah, so my Cohen screwed up my ability to grow, and then um if I hadn't played Koan and I had taken Reedstone Food and built and grown second, even though I give Keith 6 wood, I think I still have a chance. But with Koan, I had no chance. With Koan, I actually had no chance, which is crazy. Yeah, which was a mistake on my part for sure. Definitely a mistake on my part. All right, so four things unreturned. Sorry, it'll be three things unreturned. So pest exterminator is 6 points. Porter is 5. Fellow grazer is 3. And then I get another point out of this guy. Just gonna remove everything here. Reno improvement, Reno fence. No difference here. Yeah, three things unreturned. Yeah. So whatever I score plus 20. Oh, I never paid the 2 food for Scorched Earth. Whoops. Fortunately, I had way too much food the whole game. And I pay an extra 2 food as well for my feeding at the end. Plus 4. So whatever I score plus 20, 24, 39. Porn wrecked me in so many ways. I never would have played it. Yeah, because Homesteader. Homesteader. Oh, did Mariska lose to DV Lot? Mariska lost to DV Lot. Wow. Yeah, so DV Lot had zero chance for Constable, but it just never came out. So it didn't matter. I'm surprised Maruska's score is so low, to be honest. I'm quite surprised at how low Maruska's score is. The Artist Garden Rats combo was really good. And Organized Handyman is great in a late family growth game. And Barnmaster is very good, but the reason Keith and I passed on it was because of Constable. Yeah. Feels bad sitting here with Homesteader, Prudent Merchant Businesswoman in hand. Because, like, the Prudent Merchant Businesswoman could have just been the Well and something else. But the Homesteader in particular is huge. Manure Shoveler is fine. It's not too often you get past Plow so multiple times. Yeah, I don't think setting up the Manure Shoveler Barnmaster was worth it with Constable in the draft. But Constable didn't get played, and maybe you could have read that Keith had it pretty early and that it was never going to come out. So, yeah. So what went wrong here for me? What went wrong? Well, obviously my fencing is the first place to look at. So how many were left unreturned? It was so I fenced 8, but I actually could have fenced another 4. So I could have had another 4, another pasture. Now, what I really needed is to get a second pasture that triggered fellow grazer. So yeah, so the pest exterminator was good in the sense that with Constable in the game, I can set up a game that gets the Constable points with Pest Exterminator. But the reality is, in this game, it would have been much better to not play Pest Exterminator and have been able to fence 15 and get 6 points out of Fellow Grazer. And then I'm actually like close to winning. I'm actually close to winning in that line. If I just don't play Pest Exterminator, and then instead of and I and if I don't play Koan, I probably grow earlier. I can get 6 points out of Fellow Grazer and still play Homesteader. Yeah, the fact that I was not able to play Homesteader was like disastrously bad, really disastrously bad. But in a late family growth game, I think this hand. The big issue is probably Pest Exterminator. Probably when it's a late family growth game, I just don't have the actions. Or, as I said, I need something like Noble to guarantee myself family growth without room, and Plow Sow. And the other thing that I probably need is I probably need a use the most recent action card, right? Or a way to hold an animal. So that's something else that I screwed up with the Pest Exterminator is that I have to remember that I have to take boar or cattle, take both boar and cattle before my second fencing. I have to take boar, cattle, and sheep before my second fencing if I want to fence really well. But yeah, yeah. If I grow earlier than round 10, the game just like every extra action that I get, my game just gets so much better with every incremental action. But yeah. So the big problem with Koan was that it took me down to 0 read, right? So that and then it makes sense for me to take 6 wood because the reedstone food was not enough on its own to be able to build. So then that lets Maruska take reedstone food, which keeps Keith and I from growing or from being able to build. In particular, me, I'm sitting after him. which means that the reed exchange was MVP as well. The reed exchange was super MVP as well, for sure. And maybe something that I should have thought about taking. My last couple miners were, yeah. Oh. And yeah, Grange. So yeah. So the other thing to talk about here is Grange. So Grange, um, free 3 points seems cool. Getting 6 fields is tough. Now with Homesteader, it seems like I should be able to get 6 fields, but yeah, when I don't grow until around 10. Like I was planning to grow in like 7, grow second, grow in 7, or grow first or second, like approximately in 7. So then I was thinking I have 3 extra actions, so I should be able to plow 3 times. But no, yeah, with the pest exterminator, I can't afford the 3 extra field actions. All those actions have to go into marginal getting my fences back actions. In this game at least, so. Yeah, I think Pest Exterminator seems neat. I'm going to keep drafting it. I'm going to keep trying to play with it, but I have to recognize that there are some limitations that that I didn't you kind of don't realize until you play with it. So, but I mean, this is a neat game for no major improvements. Kind of a neat no major improvement hand. Game designer obviously very strong. Koan. I'm gonna blame this all on Koan. All Koan's fault. All right, guys, I'm not feeling too good, so I'm just going to be done for now. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'll do a longer stream tomorrow. I assume I'm going to be feeling better tomorrow, but yeah, I'm not feeling so great. So thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I can have a better performance tomorrow. That was a fun hand. I mean, I'm not too upset about this game. This is a fun hand to try. But yeah, definitely made a couple mistakes. And then the late family growth was tough as well. Because if family growth flips earlier, I should then Maruska, yeah. Well, then Maruska maybe grows 6, 5, and 6, or 5 and 7, and I grow an 8 or something like that. Could have been weird. I think playing Koan was a big mistake. I think ultimately playing Koan was a huge mistake. I'm supposed to not play Koan, and then I pass the 6 wood and take Reedstone Food in round 5. And then I grow an 8, and then, things probably go better from there because I have some more moves. Although if I had to start player to grow, that only is 1 extra action, to be fair, right? It's only 1 extra action. But theoretically in that line, Devilot and Maruska are in worse spots because they both grow later, so maybe it's enough to balance it out. All right. Bye, guys.